What's up? What's up? It's your girl H, and we are about to see just how much Arthur wants Sun in his clutches, and just how much Sun wants to be in those clutches. Last episode, we left off with Arthur pulling Sun upstairs to go to bed. Let's hop in to see what happened. Also, if you haven't subscribed, please do. Also, if you like your girl, please like and share this video. Much thanks to you. Love. I truly appreciate it. So, we know Ashing and Mancorn are like really into each other, right? And Ashing let it slip that he don't want to live without Mancorn in the sweetest, most accidental way. That was so wholesome, and they ended up hugging as Mancorn moved out of Ashing's house. This episode starts off with Sun in the room, and he is so nervous, wondering what in the hell Arthur was going to do to him. And you can see in the way that the boy was eyeing that candle and flinching. Y'all, at this point, I think Sun wants it. I think he wants sex with Arthur, who is very rich and very beautiful. And maybe he was anticipating this being a way that he would have to repay Arthur. He'd been knowing about the sex toys. He even asked Arthur, why do you have that candle in here? Thinking BDSM. But Arthur was like, boy, this is an island and the lights often go out. I'm like, good explanation for the candle, but what about the rest of the toys? Arthur handcuffs them again, and they are going to sleep together just like that in the same bed because Arthur does not trust Sun. Understandable. Then we see Arthur's two henchmen, Tale and Nye, bringing them food. Well, Tale was bringing them food, Nye was bringing them drinks. They had the same idea, but they both saw the lights were off in the house, so they decided, maybe we shouldn't bother them. They might be getting busy. Nye was like, it seems like they don't want to be bothered. They don't want the food and drink. Then he turned to Tale and was like, come eat with me. And Tale must have had a little nasty thought because he was like, eat what? And Nye was like, eat the food. To be honest, I wouldn't be mad if something happened between Tale and Nye. I would support it. But then I don't know how I would feel about breaking Nemo's achy breaky heart, because y'all know he likes Nye. The next morning, Sun wakes up first and he sees the key to the handcuffs on the dresser next to Arthur's head. He tries to reach over Arthur, who is sleeping soundly, only for their faces to be inches, not even inches apart, like millimeters apart. And then Arthur, he wakes up and turns. Their lips touch, almost like a kiss. Then we get a flashback of this random kid, which I guess was a young son, saying, I'll give you something to remember me by. Keep that thought in mind. Then they both kind of lay there, Sun on top of Arthur for a while. Then awkwardly they separate. I wonder if they both remember that flashback. Who was Sun talking to in this? It had to be Arthur only. Come on, who else would it be, guys? And why did he suddenly, I'm talking about Sun, suddenly kind of just get up and back away? Kind of like he behaved a little bit. Flashback. We get a baby Sun and Ashing practicing their boxing, and Ashing accidentally punched Sun in the face. He goes to get him some kind of ointment to, help the swelling, I guess. Then a bigger kid comes up, and we all should assume that this is Arthur. He goes over to baby Sun and his sassy ass and checks on Sun just to make sure he's okay. But do notice, in the background of this scene with the kids, we see three men, two of which are Ashing and Sun's dads. We can also assume that the third man is probably Arthur and Nemo's dad, who passed away. This is where we see baby Sun say, I'll give you something to remember me by. I will dye my hair orange like the sun, so you will recognize me. We all know Sun's hair is currently dyed orange, and this is also his name as well, Sun. I will say, for me, things are starting to come together in this episode, but hang on, guys, okay? Then we get another flashback to the day where Arthur had first saw Sun coming to the island with his orange hair, and Arthur knew exactly who Sun was. So fast forward, we're present day. Sun is in the shower and Arthur is still in bed with the handcuff on. He remembers that kiss lingering on his lips. And it wasn't even a kiss, their lips just brushed together. But he is so, how you touch your lip, kind of like remembering the kiss. That's what Arthur does. So y'all, he loves him some Sun. He likes Sun. So he reminisces on the kiss, and then he thinks about the promise that baby Sun had made and that big Sun had kept. So that lets the audience know that Sun was thinking of Arthur and he kept his promise all of these years. Side note, Ashton has been obsessed with boxing for a while, since he was a little itty bitty baby. So, we get a good bit of info in the next scene when Arthur is on the beach. He walks up to Nemo and Nye, helping the workers on the beach. Nye said he will help in Bangkok, and Sun's dad is working on getting the money to pay Arthur back. So Nye is kind of on top of things. Nemo says that his brother should stop stressing, that they are rich, and that he, Nemo, will help Arthur with the family business when he graduates. But Nemo says Arthur should really find love, and he really cares about his big brother. You know, like, hey, I want you to be happy. I'm tired of seeing you stressed out. Like, I want to help you. You don't have to do it all by yourself, but find your person. Then Tale shows up and asks Arthur if anything happened with him and Sun last night, and one of the workers literally hand delivers Sun at that moment to Arthur, and Sun begs Tale and Nemo to help him, to no avail. Arthur ends up dragging Sun away before Tale gets his answer. I'm so happy that all of Arthur's boys want him to get laid so badly. Like, such great henchmen. He makes Sun collect more coconuts as his job, and Sun better not run away, he said. Then there's a monkey in a tree who's like pitching coconuts down from the tree, I guess for the humans to collect. And Arthur, he blocks Sun's head from getting hit when a monkey throws one down. He does this twice, but the second time Arthur gets hurt in the process of trying to stop Sun from getting hit. Sun seems to be really worried about Arthur, helping him up and making sure he's okay, and just, tending to him. I'm like, what's that about? Wait a minute. Not Sun caring about somebody else. Sun actually then thanks Arthur for helping him earlier, begrudgingly. We also learn about their names. It means the same thing in two different languages. Sun, of course, is sun in English, and Arthid is Thai for sun as well. Also, let's not forget the stories about debt. So, even Sun. The sons are trying to get even, and also the fathers have been sending their sons to pay their debt. Just look at Mancorn and Sun. Sun opens up to Arthur about being bad at his job, and he was hoping to kind of redeem himself by collecting the money from Arthur on his trip. Arthur asks him, okay, well, if you're bad at debt collecting, what else are you good at? I think he's good at bedkim. Why, Arthur? Are you going to try to give Sun a job? But I will say that I am happy to see a scene where these two are finally talking to each other normally and for real. Now we can talk about a relationship forming between these two. Next, we learn that Sun's dad is on Arthur's island and he has paid off his debt. Then when he sees Sun with a handcuff on him, he threatens to call the police on Arthur. And Arthur is like, isn't it I who should be calling the police on you? Flashback, Arthur's dad died because of Sun's just scamming ass daddy. They were best friends, and Arthur's dad had loaned Sun's dad 10 million baht. When Arthur's dad had asked for it back, finally, Sun's dad said that he didn't have it, and that gave Arthur's dad a heart attack. Wow. And Sun didn't even know any of that. That is diabolical. He killed his own friend from his scamming and his scheming. When I gave Arthur the 10 million baht from Sun's dad, Arthur just ripped it up right in front of his face. He uncuffed Sun and told Sun that, hey, you're free to go. And then he just walked off. Arthur didn't care about the money anymore. But what they don't realize is that he took something far more valuable from Sun's dad. He took Sun. Sun doesn't want to leave the island, y'all. So, while his dad is begging him, hey, let's go back to Bangkok, let's go, Sun, he runs after Arthur. Lonely, smart, sweet, and sexy Arthur. He done fucked around and played with Sun's heart. So eventually Sun caught up to Arthur, and Arthur told him, you should go back with your father. Once again, telling him, like, just leave. Because Arthur, he's lonely. And he was under the impression that Sun, like, really wanted to leave the island and he really didn't want to stay. Sun said, nah, I won't go even if you chase me away. Arthur was like, you don't owe me any money anymore, so you're free to go. Sun said, well, can I borrow some money? Girl, Sun said, I want to stay as your captee, baby. Arthur said, okay. Clearly he was entertained. He was like, how much do you want to borrow? Sun said the sweetest line of this whole show. He was like, as much as it takes to never leave your side. Y'all, I am outdone. Yes, that's actually really cute. That's cute. I could appreciate this whole little twist of events. I wonder if they messed around that night. They had slept in a bed together. I doubt it because the way they like the lips brushed, it would seem like they. Anyway, just a train of thought gone. Now it's back. They embrace in the sin. Arthur has tears in his eyes. Y'all, it was a really, really sweet. It was really sweet. The next day, we have the match between Ashing and Menghorn, and everyone is there except the people on the island. But I will say Sun's dad did return back to Bangkok to watch the fight. We get a cute little scene with all three dads in a flashback when Arthur's dad was still alive, and they were talking about love is love and how they would marry their kids off, if they wanted to. They want to make sure that they pass the inheritance down to them. That's the most important thing. Then they all decide to take a selfie, and that's how we get that picture in one of the scenes of all three dads together. And I love the love is love scenes in Thai BLs and GLs because it's true. Love whoever you want to, okay? And I know, especially in the Americas of the United States, it's a fight against, rights, but let's not get political. Mancorn loses the fighting match, and Ashing goes to help him up to show, good sportsmanship, and Mancorn instead pulls Ashing down to the ground on top of him in front of everybody there watching. Everyone just basically watched them kiss. Ironically, Sun's father tells Ashing's dad that Ashing may have won the fight, but he lost his heart to Mancorn. I was like, yeah, he should know. He had the same thing happen to his own son. Next scene is post boom prim bang bang, but we didn't get to see no sex scene, okay? But they are naked in a bed while they are talking sweet, beautiful, just what couples do in a bed. His henchmen arrive outside the first house. They really want to know what happened between Arthur and Sun. I don't even know why Arthur is trying to hide it, okay? Ain't that what you wanted? To boom boom the other son? Anyway, Nemo tells Arthur that him and Nye are going back to Bangkok. Apparently Nemo wants to be an attorney. I wonder why. Or does he just want to play hide the gavel with Nye? Also, we learned that Talei's dad had gave Arthur dad some money to buy the other island, and Arthur said that, you don't have to be my supporter anymore, and he gave him the money back. I'm happy for Talay. He gets to be a partner now. But Talay brings the conversation back full circle. Where is Sun, your lover? Yes. You see, Arthur tried to distract his friends from present circumstances. Arthur will not let them into that damn house, and they are peeping game. Even I was like, can I use the bathroom? Arthur was like, no. Sun and Arthur are officially boyfriends. When Arthur gets back in the house, they try to, get ready and then go out of the house together, holding hands after everybody left. But everybody was still there waiting for their asses outside. They were caught. And the friends are so happy for them. I love this type of supportive system. Like, this support system is necessary. Just relationship or not, you just need a support system in your corner. Word from the wise. Word from the wise. Those two decide to live on the island together, and all is well. They are so cute together. Another successful boom prim relationship. And I'm proud. To me, the story came together okay at the end, and I love the happy endings, okay, for everyone except Vijay. It was cute and short. It was a nice little watch with some issues with the translation, even a bit of issues with the plot, but I enjoyed watching it. Even Sun gave really good and light vibes, and you really can't be too mad at a show with like happy, good vibes and a pretty decent ending. So guys, please go ahead, head to the comments, tell me what you liked about this show, this episode, and tell me what else Boone and Prim are doing lately so I can go find out and take my commentary and discussions back to you guys. Until next show.